Mr. Know-It-All is here. You know, your focus buddy who never smiles. I didn't know what to do with him, so I had him wait in your room.
Got it. Thanks. Well, Silence. Looks like you finally found a door you could open without me.
I'm glad it's there, actually. It kept me from having to mingle with the company you keep. But enough prattle. I believe you owe me an explanation. Your plans for the Zenith base?
You're right. I do owe you. My spear in your throat for deceiving me again. At the Hades Proving Lab.
I doubt you asked me here for that kind of reckoning.
No. Right now, I need your help. So I'm giving you one final chance. But if you ever betray me again, I will kill you no matter what the circumstance. Understood?
Though we'll both face a decidedly short future if you can't get us inside that base.
Aloy, your other guest is here. She's, coming to you.
Thanks. Good timing. The truth is, I can't actually get us into the base. But she can.
The company you keep is even worse than I thought.
Not a fan of surprises, are you? Oh, look. That must be your little invention.
Does the weapon work? Without self-destructing?
Of course it does. I've eliminated the imperfections and greatly improved its design and output.
How can we be sure?
Care for a demonstration?
Enough, both of you. We're in this together, at least for now. Go talk to Erend. Tell him I said to give you rooms of your own. I'll come see you when I get a chance.
Oh, no. You first.
Better get everyone in the control room, so Tilda can tell us what she knows about the Zenith base. With Regala out of the way, Hikaru and Tanakh, they're safe. The future's up to them now. I do wish they'd drop all the honorary names they've given me. But if I've learned anything about them, that it's not a battle I am going to win.
You know, we've never played Machine Strike together.
Oh, no. I've got enough trouble with the follow.
Guess I'm gonna good at it.
The way my luck's going, I'll bet you're a pro.
Aloy. It appears I'm glad to see you're okay. I heard you gave the Tanakh. I was half expecting you to burst in through the ceiling riding a sunwing.
Sorry to disappoint. Ready to head over to...
Whatever comes.
Have you talked to any of our new...
Erend and I tried speaking to Silent, but apparently our...
Charming is... How to go with the...
I thought, but even if, to be honest...
I'm glad they're lucky. Thoughts on our new Zenith acquaintance?
I'd say she smells like death, but even death smells of something.
She's... definitely... I have to go.
I'll make sure Erend doesn't punch Silence in the face, if that's what...
Thanks.
You flew? Kotallo told me. And took out Regala's machines? You know what? I don't even know why I'm surprised. I saw we have visitors and a new weapon. Does this mean we're ready to take the fight to the Zeniths?
Almost. You sure you're okay going on this mission? I know things must be happening.
I've already braved oceans and madmen who... Why not a few immortals with lethal drones at their command, too?
Guess the more the merrier. I hope our new guests have been behaving.
This Silence... He's the one who built...
He is. Though he refuses to dole out his secrets to...
Oh.
You know that special part of us that makes...
Our... spirit?
Yeah. He was born without that. I suppose you saw that Tilda is here. Our very own Zenith.
I almost went up to her to ask her, well, every diviner I know would kill to get 5 minutes. But now that she's here, all I feel is a vague unease. I don't know if I'm scared of finding out more and probably both.
I need to wrap...
I'll be ready when...
I see you've got your new arm ready to go.
Yes. It still feels strange. I've gotten used to the absence, but no matter. I'm sure I will need it before the attack on the Zenith base is through. So, our enemy is immortal. Most of my people don't survive past 30.
Haven't seen you since the battle at the Grove.
I saw you fly on the wings of the Ten, and paralyze Regala's army with lightning. I would say that I am... inspired.
Thank you.
It is I.
Things will get ugly once the Zeniths realize you'll need every trick you've ever learned.
I would have it no other. Many soldiers died in the old world. We will endure on their behalf. Though, I am curious how you intend to do without an army of our own.
Leave that to me.
As you say.
Did you meet Tilda?
There is something about her. I wouldn't be surprised if my sword went through her and she didn't bleed at all.
Honestly, with her? Your people keep mentioning...
The visions tell us that the Ten flew on and leapt into battle from the sky for us. To imitate. It is why the challengers leap into the... And now... like the deeds of the Ten themselves. So?
I won't lie.
I can only imagine.
I bet people are curious about...
None more than our Quen ally. She couldn't wait to take it apart and figure... I gave her the data I used to build the thing, hoping that would satisfy...
Good luck with that. I have to go.
Understood.
Aloy, you can't...
Wish I could say we don't need them, but...
Yeah, enemy of my enemy and all.
Right. Doesn't...
Yet. So, I've been busting my balls trying to learn to...
Don't worry. You'll be...
Looking forward to...
I guess Silence is keeping...
I was hoping you'd give me an excuse to...
Please don't.
You telling me you wouldn't want to get just one? After everything he's...
Sure. You,
I tried. I don't think even a... And you say she wants...
I think so. I better get...
Oh, you know where...
Okay. Maybe it's time to get everyone together so Tilda can brief us. But is there anything I should handle before that? All right, people. I need you up in the control room, right away. Okay, everyone. We all know what's at stake. Beta, Gaia. Not to mention life on Earth. Now, it might seem like the Zeniths are invincible, but they're not. We've got what it takes to break into their base and defeat them. We even have one of them on our side. Tilda, show us the base.
It is constructed atop the ruins of an ancient military facility on an island to the southwest. I can get us inside. To this location. Undetected.
How exactly?
You'll know when you need to. Once inside, our goal will be this structure. The launch tower. Gaia and Beta are being held at the top. But along the way, we will face overwhelming resistance. Most importantly from Gerard, Eric, and the others. But also...
Once I take away their shields, we should be able to deal with them. But it will be easier to deploy the device if someone else is carrying it. I'll need a strong back.
Carry stuff? Yeah, I can do that.
Even if your device works, there will still be Spectre drones, scores of them.
If only we had an army to fight them.
I've got that under control. You'll know when you need to. All right. We'll meet up again just before we go in. Where's the best place to rendezvous?
On the coast, just across from the island. Once there, I'll show you the way.
Okay. I'll let you know when I arrive at the rendezvous point. And then you can join me. In the meantime, do whatever you need to prepare. Understood? You too? Tilda helped me get in touch with Beta, and she told me something important. There's an installation inside the base. It's called a regulator. Here. Once we're inside, I need you two to split off from everyone else and destroy it. So you'll have to bring explosives. This will help stop the drones. Everything depends on it. You with me? After that, I want you to find a way to infiltrate the Zenith network.
How?
Go over all the data that Beta left behind. She knew how to do it, I'm sure of that.
All right. But why? What am I trying to do?
Find information about the Zeniths. Anything Tilda's not telling us. Silence is right about one thing. There's no way we can take her on her word.
I'll do my best.
Keep her safe, okay?
On my life.
Before I forget, I watered those plants for you.
We're finally doing this.
Never thought I'd be off on a mission to take down a bunch of immortals from the stars. I can hear the drinking songs already. Oh, earlier you mentioned something about Tenakth rebels and the Oseram, but we never really talked about it. I'm just saying, if you want to discuss it, you let me know.
Varl made the right call, you know, bringing you here.
Thanks. Yeah, Varl. You know, I never knew he had a sister. I found out a few days before you guys went to Gemini. I was, well, to be honest, I was terrified I'd screw up the mission somehow. So he sat me down for a drink. Just one, mind you. And we talked about family. Vala, Ursa, loss and revenge. How you helped us.
You know, we never did get that drink you promised back in the Embrace. And you never told me exactly how your sister escaped the Mad Sun King.
I guess we never got round to it. World ending and all. No time like the present, though. If you're up for it.
If that one's not working right, you can have one of my spare focuses, you know.
Yeah, little bugger's got some personality, that's all. Saved my butt with those Spectres. Wouldn't feel right to leave it behind now. You know, besides, it goes with my outfit.
Wouldn't want to spoil your look. You think it's time for us to finally have that drink?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, of course. Oh.
So, how did Ursa King Jiran's palace?
Well, first she had to survive the Sun Ring. And, you know, for what? Thinking somehow that was gonna appease all... Ah! And when it was Ursa's, the Carja thought she'd go down if they threw a big machine at her.
Oh, but she didn't.
And she defeated all of them. Even got... And the Mad Sun King was impressed. Thought it'd be funny to have her run around his palace. He enjoyed it.
I remember you telling that's how she...
Yeah, but what no car is how the young prince snuck Ursa. He knew their best chance was to get her. He got her everything she needed. Perfumes, veil.
I get the feeling she wasn't too happy with that.
Oh man, Ursa would have rather with her bare hands than put on all of that Carja eye paint. But Avad insisted it was the only way, so she agreed. Avad had to dress up
She made Avad dress up like
as perfumed and powdered as Ursa said he looked better like that than he ever...
That would, definitely make...
Oh, I worked like a charm. They paid a traveling merchant to get Ursa to...
You were right.
All good stories are.
I guess I should get going.
I'll see you at the rendezvous.
I wouldn't have it...
There you are. Well done, Aloy. You're truly a shining example of Liz's fortitude.
I've been thinking about what you said at your house. How you were friends with Elizabeth. It was more than that, wasn't it?
Perceptive as ever. You're right, we were together for a time.
Okay, so... what happened?
I was an orphan. I had always been alone. By my 30s, I was starting to wonder if that was simply my fate in life. And then I met Liz. We kept running into each other at conferences. We'd have coffee. At some point, it became drinks. I thought it was just shop talk, an exchange of ideas, but then I was surprised at how much I looked forward to seeing her. Soon we were flying halfway across the world every other week just to meet up. For the first time, I didn't feel lonely. I could imagine a future where I wasn't. I think Liz felt the same way at first. She had lost her mother a few years back. I filled a void for her, but as time passed, it seemed as though she wanted less when I wanted more, and so we ended things.
So helping me, restoring Elizabeth's dream, it's what,
a second chance, yes. I made a mistake leaving Earth while Liz stayed behind. I should have done more. So when I saw you, a woman who has carved her own remarkable path, beyond even what made Liz a phenomenon, I knew I had to help you. To do right by her.
Why did you make the data channel?
I built that house as a safe place, not cultural artifacts of, truly, some of the greatest.
And you wanted Beta?
Yes. I thought if it would bring a heritage every bit as valuable as data being drummed into her. I'm sorry I had to cut off contact, but she needed it.
You said before that you never were.
Out of necessity. Both when Earth was consumed and when the colony on Syria, I did what I had to try to undo what damage hence the data channel with Beta. The secret passage and the little trick I pulled to save you.
Why do you think Elizabeth?
I've wondered that for 1,000 years. She was brilliant. She cared so deeply for the world. But it also felt like she kept everyone at arm's length, including me. She never wanted to share her burden. I think, in the end, she had... Sometimes I wonder if anyone really knew her.
I found a recording of you and Elizabeth back in the proof after Farzineth's attempt to steal Gaia.
Yes. A most unpleasant
She said something after the call. I think she regretted how things ended between...
Did she? Thank you for telling me. I've always hated that those were the last words we ever said to each other, and that her last impression of me was as a functionary of Far, not who I truly am.
What else can we expect?
As I mentioned in the briefing, that's where Beta and Gaia are. There are also printing facilities where the others have been amassing the natural resources they've stripped from the region.
What for?
First for use in the base's infrastructure, and then to a small army of them. In addition, they've also been ferrying material. After hundreds of years luxuriating in our digital comforts, the ship was barely space-worthy when we made our escape. Disaster can strike at any moment. We've learned our lesson.
Have you figured out how Silence's weapon works?
No, and he's been very careful not to allow me near it. I'll admit it bothers me, but regardless of how it functions, I am confident it will deactivate the other shields en masse.
How many of them are in the base?
10, including Eric and Gerard. Only a handful of us made it to our ship when our colony collapsed.
So, Eric... was he always a bloodthirsty psychopath?
I believe he got worse over time. On Earth, he was the founder of a profitable private military company. A band of cutthroats, in other words. Even as governments abandoned human combatants in favor of automated warfare. He found success with clientele that required a more personal touch. There were also rumors that he personally hunted and killed his targets. On occasion, all for the thrill of it. But on Sirius, he retreated to virtual reality simulations. In them, he could go on rampages as violent as he pleased, though I suspect with diminishing satisfaction.
All of his tribe believes he was one of the greatest people from the old world.
Then they would be quite disappointed to meet him, though I'm sure he'd bask in the adoration.
When I was in the ruins of Vegas, I found data on a man named Stanley Chen. I think he was a Zenith.
Stanley, ever the optimist. He was one of the good ones. When we established our colony, he built an exact replica of Las Vegas in virtual reality. Lights, shows, gambling, every detail perfectly recreated. And while others cloistered themselves in their own fantasies, he flung his doors wide to everyone.
The way you're talking about him, I'm guessing he didn't make it back to Earth?
No, he perished when our colony was destroyed. He would have been thrilled.
When I was in the ruins of, I think...
When we light and well...
Wait.
No, he would have been...
What can you tell me about...
He was the head of the world, and as such, had dealings with almost every... It made him one of the wealthiest people on... And certainly, the wealthiest.
What does one person do?
Buy more power, more... Gerard's always believed able to maintain control with a... But beneath that exterior is a cold and calculating... It was his decision to restrict Beta's upbringing to the avatars of the Apollo data, while we were painted as her.
Well, we'll deal with him soon enough.
I would very...
When Beta escaped and hid in an ancient... I saw another one of the Zenith. Who was she?
A dull star amidst a sea. Unlike most of Farzin, amassed their wealth through shrewd business. Verbena inherited her billions. Her father had achieved great success in the... At age 24, she became the world's most eligible bachelorette. Branding someone who leverages their fame to... In a way, yes.
Well, she must have done something right.
She was her own brand of ruthless. That...
Okay, so I've had run-ins with a handful of Zenith.
An array of the wealthiest people on Earth. Tight.
And let me guess.
Most, but not all. There were a few with whom I got along. Annika Murjani. She founded the Holonet's most successful dance channel and was herself and I had fascinating discussions, our immortality treatments. But then there were others like Devin Miller. His only real preoccupations were perfect. When I think about all of us, we really should have...
Okay.
I'll be here until then. And thank you, Alo. My past. I see Liz's dream fulfilled.
Maybe we can make it happen.
We will. I won't let anything get in the way.
I'm gonna clean my gear later. I could do yours if you want.
I hope everybody's ready.
Aloy, at least...
Thanks. Everyone here, if it weren't for Varl...
You know, there was this one night. He realized I was having troubles. To be honest, I think we both were. So, he asked me to join him. He brought up this hologram of Earth that you two found back in the Zenith launch facility. We sat there. I thought about how Plainsong was, how every corner of it must be and any fears I had about our mission. I miss him terribly.
I know. You and Aaron seem to be on better.
He may have terrible taste in music. And that ale he keeps raving, I still plan on beating that.
Try not to hurt him. I should go.
Before you do.
What is it?
You placed this focus in my care. And gave me the highest... If I should fall in battle, I'd like you to be the one to bury my seed pouch. For the both of us.
So...
Make sure...
Let's just try to all come... You nervous?
I'd be lying if...
The plan will work, if we all focus on our assignment.
Right.
I want you to know I'm...
Whatever happens, I never thought I'd get to...
Come on, do I... Once all this is over, will you go back?
I don't know. If I go back, I don't even know if they'd let me keep this focus you gave me. Or what they'd do to me for reading what is clearly forbidden data. Even if I somehow were allowed to... Would I be willing to let the truths I've learned about... Would I dare challenge them? Or... losing...
Who's this
She... We used to... I hated her gut, but apparently there's a... We became very close, and she promised she'd wait.
Well, that was smart of her.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I do. Katala will protect you inside the...
I'm not afraid. I know Katala will fulfill if we die doing so. At least it'll be...
I'd rather you both...
We'll try and keep that.
The rest of us should be Zeniths for you to hack into their network, but you'll have to be quick, in case they do.
What exactly?
I don't know. I need to get going.
I'll be at the run. May truth lead us to victory.
So...
I do not know everything. All that remains is to follow you to the...
Thank you, Katalo.
You brought us together. And I am grateful too.
Now that training time is...
The bulwark, and how we need another miracle.
I'll try not to...
I know.
We didn't really get to talk about...
There was nothing. If he were to Noct, Varl's bravery would have earned him sacred burial at the Grove, among the most distinguished of our tribe's warriors. His deeds will... When the fight is... I will have the Inkers etch his memory on my skin, so that it may live on.
I'm sure he'd be honored. I'll see you soon.
It will be my honor.
Did you need something? Bravo. You managed to sway a Zenith to your side. Care to explain?
Not a chance. I thought you said the weapon was ready.
There's always room to optimize. But that's not why you're here. I assume you want to comprehend my undertakings. So, ask away.
Since when were you...
Since you turned this into a waiting game. Modest success.
Okay, so your big plan, everything you've been manipulating. Let me see if I got this straight. You learned about the Zeniths from Hades when you interrogated it. Then you came up with a plan to defeat them, and to get the Tanakhs to fight for you, or rather the sons of Prometheus, are...
Did you have an actual question, or are you still playing catch-up?
So all this time, even before I found the coordinates at the Spire, you were out here scheming. Why couldn't you just tell me?
When I learned of the Zenith's return to Earth, I laid out my plans. I knew I would one day require an army of overzealous Tenakth to assault the Zenith base. The casualties would be extreme. And I knew you would never allow such a sacrifice, no matter how necessary. Thus, I devised a means to remove your interference from the equation. At the Hades Proving Lab.
While I was out there,
The tribe from across...
their entire tribe, one of them, all... Don't you want to know?
No. They stumbled from the ancient world, and what they shrouded the knowledge they on creating a pantheon.
Yes?
Did it?
So those run-ins, on one of them I teamed up with... We found Pharaoh.
You must have needed Omega clearance. So,
Worse than you can...
he single-handedly wiped out collective human... I'm sure it was still less...
Let me guess. You would have scraped him into it like what you did with Hades.
For a start.
You wanted me to surrender to the Zenith at the Hades Proving Lab.
Based on everything I knew about them, I concluded they... thereby keeping you out of harm's way, and more importantly, out of my way.
So you really didn't know they had their own clone of Elizabeth?
No. Unfortunately, there was no way I could have known that particular detail.
Detail? Well, I guess if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't be here today. Alright, Silence. I think I've talked to you. I'll let you know when it's time to go. And try not to mess with Tilda while you're in here. I don't need the two of you butting heads.
Ah, yes. I wonder if you understand what kind... For someone to live as long as she has, well, your goals may be aligned.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Survival is only a necessity to my... I'd hoped you'd recognize that by now.
Do you know something or not?
Oh, I know a great deal of things.
Oh, a feeling. You mean you finally had one?